If you're an empath and you unconsciously take on the energy of other people around you, here are 3 things you need to do to make today better and less draining. Number 1, put up your energetic shield. So I often do this at nighttime. Some people do it in the morning. You do whatever fits for you. You can also set the intention that the shield lasts for more than 1 day, although it is good to refresh this periodically. Your energetic shield, you can picture it like a bubble. You can picture it as if it's an actual shield or dome that's over you. I like to use an Archangel Michael meditation where I imagine Archangel Michael has sliced around me so that anything connected to me goes away. The shield is a buffer, like our skin is a buffer or a barrier. I see it as this is almost like a spiritual immune system. What you're doing is visualizing and believing that you have your own energy bubble, energy field, and the energy of others is not coming into your space. I often find, probably especially because I'm a clairsentient, I'm very sensitive. As soon as I do the visualization, I notice my body relaxing. I notice that I feel a lot better. The second thing you want to do is do an evaluation of your environment. Where are you being in places that frankly feel bombarding to your energy system, to your nervous system, to your senses? Last night I took my son to dance class and it's a nice place. I think the energy of it is fine. And it's very busy. There's lots of kids because it's the beginning of the dance semester. There are a number of kids who, even though they want to do dance, were getting very emotional and crying about going into class. Now, these are 2, 3, 4, 5-year-olds. So this is an age in which separating from your parents and going in a room, that's a bit of a scary thing for them. And then also they're doing something new, which even though they're excited about it, emotions are high. So as I said, I saw multiple kids crying. While I'm waiting for my son in dance class, I'm popping outside. I'm walking around the building. I'm putting in music. I sometimes will also read a book. When I used to do public transit, I would read a book and just hone in and hyper focus on that. I mean, that's easy for me to hyper focus on a book. And I would tune out everything around me because, and this perhaps is a bit more highly sensitive than per se just empaths, but it works for both of us, and I'm both. When you're taking in a lot of information and there's a lot of stimulus around you, it's a lot for you. And so finding your calming activity, that's, I guess, actually number 3. Finding your calming activity that centers you, that grounds you, that's really important. But to finish explaining number 2, doing the thing and consciously putting yourself in a place where you're in the best scenario. So if I'm in a restaurant, I try and be not near the front of the door where all the traffic is. If they can put me in a corner or an edge, I feel a lot better. So some of it is positioning yourself in a place. Like I said, when I bring my kid to dance class, I'm popping outside and taking a walk, walking around the building, because even though I know the kids that are scared to go to dance class, even though I know that that's fine, it still makes my emotional system, my nervous system, my energy system feel heightened. And so you're not going to always be able to choose everything today about your environment. I get that. I'm not saying like change everything about everywhere you go. However, over the long run, if you work in an environment that does not allow you to be your optimum self, that's something that you want to change. Years ago, I worked in pretty much, I would think they would call it an open concept office. There were no cubicles. Everyone's office desk was in one open room. It was very overwhelming for me. I wore headphones almost every single day so that I could focus on my work and not be bombarded because people would be on the phone, typing, all the things were happening all around me. And there was a lot of noise that was very overwhelming to me. I also knew an environment like that, I'm not going to last long at this job. Like I already know I need to find my exit strategy because this is not long-term success for me. So for you, whatever daily choices you can make to put yourself in the best position that is less overwhelming, that is less stimulating, this is really good self-care. Your boss is not going to come up to you and be like, hey, I heard you're an empath, or I heard you're highly sensitive. Why don't we put your desk over here? Or why don't we arrange this so that you're in a better place? That's not going to happen. You have to advocate for yourself, which for many empaths, this is a thing we're not necessarily known for. But in this lifetime, that's one of your pieces of homework, probably for your entire life, is saying to yourself, you matter enough to have a life, have an environment, that have a situation that supports you, that honors you, that doesn't drain you and exhaust you every single day. Because some things are going to be exhausting, but if it is exhausting to such a huge degree, then that means you need some more intentional selection of where you are. And as I said before, first you work on the daily, and then you start to plan ahead and think, what kind of environment for work, let's just say, is going to be more calm for me? What kind of environment is going to be more supportive? And you start planning your long-range vision to not be around overstimulating environments, people who really drain your energy a ton, those things that, yes, I can be in those places and I know how to manage my energy, but I also don't put myself in those situations every single day because it's just not going to work. They're just too draining. They're very unpleasant for me. Third, which I touched on before, find the thing that centers and calms you. For me, one of those things is nature. Anytime I go to some type of conference event or all-day event where I'm with people, it's a training, there's a lot of information, I will find a time to pop outside, walk around a parking lot, if that's the environment that I have, and look for flowers, grass, trees, shrubs, insects, nature. This grounds me, this calms me. Nature has such an incredible calming effect on all of us. Some of this is just biology. It also is an internal calming effect. They say 7 minutes in nature can visibly, noticeably lower your stress levels, lower your blood pressure. I find it's lowered even before 7 minutes for me. But 7 minutes is an optimal minimum time to aim for, which if you haven't looked at my book, Talk to the Trees yet, I highly recommend it. It's channeled wisdom from the trees. It's so calming. People have described it as groundbreaking, magical, and a much needed book for our time. So check it out. One of the other things I'll do is I either almost always have a notebook to write in or a book to read. That's another way for me of anchoring in to a calm space where I can go to my internal world that has calmness and peace and get away from all of the energy and all of the stimulus around me. For you, experiment with what are the things that naturally bring you back to center, that naturally calm you, that naturally energize you or fill your cup up again? What are the things that make you feel not drained and exhausted? And schedule those in your day. And if you know you're going to be in an environment where those things are, have those things with you. Meditation for me is very grounding. So again, if I'm at a conference or a training, one of the last ones I went to, I'll find a time in the middle of the day to go find a random room and meditate for 3 minutes just to close my eyes, calm my body, and be gentle with myself and be in a calm, cool, mellow space. Being an empath truly is a gift. And as I said before, this lifetime that you're here, your job is to care for yourself. You're naturally going to care for all those around you. And you need to learn, in some ways, how to put yourself first and how to care for yourself in a maximum way so that you are in a good place to survive and thrive. I'm Rachel Strivelli. I'm a psychic life coach, and I would love to work with you one-to-one. Reach out to me if you want more support.